everyone. Welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Becky.
And today we are going to be talking about Cami Garcia's Lovely Reckless.
Woo! Which we received copies at a conference in ARC.
Oh, yes. It was an awesome conference and we certainly love receiving free books. So if you have something you want to send our way, we're all for it.
You seemed maniacal when you said that.
I know, but I really want free books.
I do like free books.
Okay, anyway. So this book is about Frankie, who used to live with her mother and the king, her stepfather, in a very prestigious part of town until her boyfriend got severely brutalized and died. Brutalized meaning he got beat up until he died. Ever since his death, she's kind of gone off the rails until recently she was picked up for drunk driving, and then her mom was just like, I'm done with you. You're giving us a bad name. You're making me look bad. So you're going to go live with your father, who lives in this shady part of town as an undercover police officer, and you're going to live with him. So now Frankie goes to the shady school where there are, I guess they don't really even talk about drug addicts or gangs, but kind of in that type of world where people are going to jail and beating each other up and just
lots of
bad guys.
Lots of fights in the parking lot.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's going to the shady part of town, and then while there, she of course falls in love with this reckless bad boy who has a rap sheet the size of his arm.
It's like the Sharks and the Jets.
Yeah. So then it's this love story about that, and daddy around not accepting the boy that she likes, and all the friends you should get back to where you were, and these people that we're going to school with aren't good enough. So
that's about it.
That's kind of it.
So
there's not much to it.
Yeah, this is another one of those books where they give you these characters and they're like, you're gonna care so much what happens to these characters, but I know nothing about them. I don't care about Frankie. I don't care about Marco.
There really wasn't much substance to that.
No, it's like 90210 or something. It's so poppy, but I cared about them. Yeah, I was 10, but I cared about them.
I don't know. I think that with this book, you lose the substance because Cami Garcia typically writes fantasy supernatural books.
Right.
And this is entirely realistic fiction. Mm. And I think that's kind of where she fell off. I think if she had added in the supernatural stuff, then it would have kind of filled out the characters. You might have cared about them more. There would be more to latch onto, and you wouldn't actually be thinking about what's going on around them.
Well, and it was such an insta-love. Literally, they interacted 3 times, and they're like, our love is the forever kind. They keep saying that. The forever kind. You've known each other for 3 days. Plus, I feel okay, so she got arrested, drunk driving, and all of a sudden they suspend her license, they put her on probation, and she got a parole officer?
I mean, but I think they were trying to play it off because her dad works as a cop, he made sure that she got the worst of it. I don't know if it's possible, but a lot of things didn't seem realistically possible.
Well, no, I just, I said, and the whole book, there's, car thieves, and then, it was very convenient when she remembers who killed her boyfriend, because she can't remember what happened. That was very convenient, and who killed him was very convenient, and his reasons for killing him was very convenient.
I mean, but I kind of knew that was going to happen.
Right.
Because it took forever to even...
Yeah.
It took forever for her to even get there.
Well, plus, okay, so, the poor boyfriend, who had been her boyfriend for years, who was her best friend before he was boyfriend, she was just
She was I never
they
really
didn't
loved
have the forever.
I never really loved him in the
yeah.
Anyway.
Right. He was just the guy. He was fake Frankie. He was was it other Frankie or before Frankie or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's trying so hard to be melodramatic, and I for what it is, a cheesy romance. It's a good cheesy romance, but it doesn't need to be on the shelf with other good serious drama realistic fictions. It is basically, I was gonna say it's a teen version of Harlequin. However, Harlequin has a teen division that writes some really good realistic fiction books.
Oh yeah.
Like Katie McGarry, who I love.
I think the problem with this book though is we just recently read Problem with Forever, and I think Problem with Forever did exactly what this book was trying to do, only it did it better.
See, I didn't think it was that similar.
I mean, it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't exactly the same plot points,
You're like
obviously,
tone-wise
but like,
and
yeah,
theme.
tone and what the author was trying to do and the love story and all of that, and a love story on the wrong side of the tracks and with the boy that's the bad boy, kind of. And I just think that was perfect for me, as opposed to like this, that I really couldn't connect with the characters. I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that you're on the shady side of town, your dad's researching or looking into all of these crimes, and yet there's no gang activity. That doesn't make any sense, that there is no gang activity.
No.
It just doesn't make, and so like I couldn't stop getting past like the parts of the realistic world that didn't make sense and didn't fit.
Well, and other than Marco's friends, who were like street racers and car thieves, the only other people that she interacts with that are bad in this really bad part of town are the guys who yell inappropriate things at her.
Which she kind of insinuates that they're the bad guys, but yeah, I mean, even the drug activity is kind of kept on the down low. Like, her one friend, Abel, has this big issue, kind of draws her and her friend Lex into this car racing scene where he's lost all this money. I'm assuming that it's going to be drug related, that, you know, he's deep into drugs, and then it turns out he's like got a gambling problem, which is just as bad, but like totally, I don't know, it just doesn't fit with how the author was setting the scene.
Well, that's like a big thing now with teens, is gambling problems, but it didn't really go into that. And that's the other thing. Like, you have Abel and you have Lex and you have the story with Noah, and it was like she dropped us in there without ever like explaining it. And I feel like they got a little bit of a resolution, so it's not like there's going to be a second book, which is some of the authors, like when they, again, I go back to Katie McGarry, I don't know why, but like or when we did Abby Glines.
This is very Abby Glines as well, I think.
But I feel like Abby Glines owns what she writes, where this is trying to be different. Like, Abby Glines, it's like, this is, you know what it's going to be. You know it's going to be a romance. You know that it's not going to be too deep. She's not going to put that many issues in it. Whereas this woman, who I like her fantasy books, really, really tried to put in a lot of, like, they make it deeper than it needed to be, or she didn't make it deeper. Like, she was saying it's deeper, but it's really still not deep. But what I was gonna say, so my point, what I was gonna say was, it's not like she was introducing these characters to then give them their own book. She was just like, okay, here they are, side characters, and I don't care about you either.
Though it's possible that she's trying to do that to leave herself open to being able to have more books in the future.
But I don't know I guess about Cruz, you could do another book, because I feel like Lex and Abel, they're done.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe with Cruz, or maybe with any of the other car racing friends.
Right. I don't
know. I just want her to go back to the Demon series, because that one was scary and awesome.
And like I said, for what it was a cheesy romance. It was good. It was a good cheesy romance. The romancy parts were kind of, they were swoony and sizzly, but
I mean, but I think that the cover speaks for itself. I think
just
that
looks like Twilight to me.
Well, but like the thing is, that like you get what you get in Twilight, though. As
but
far
it
as
looks
some,
like the actors from Twilight.
I know it looks.
It really does. Like, did you do that on purpose? And it's not Little Brown Books. Who released this? This is Imprint.
This is Imprint. Macmillan.
Yeah. We should just rate it.
Okay.
Let's just rate it.
But to finish off, though, I think that you get the not very deep love story that you get in Twilight, which others may not agree with me, but that's what I think. I think you get very similar things.
I'm not going to go into thoughts on Twilight. It's very long and rambling. Because some of it's good, some of it's not good. So I actually, because judging it entirely as a cheesy teen romance, I gave it 2 fairies. There's not much there, but for what it is, it's good. It's well written, and the romance is cheesy and good. I enjoy a good cheesy romance.
And I'll give it 1 fairy. I mean, because I quickly got through it. It wasn't like I didn't have to force myself to read it. There was cheesy romance. I mean, it wasn't anything to write home about, but it wasn't, I mean, good or bad, it wasn't anything to write home about.
No.
So, I mean, you know, I'm not mad that I read it.
No. But yeah.
That's where we're at, I think.
That's where we are.
All right, well, thanks for visiting. We'll see you later. Adios.
Bye.